Okay, so how I like to start the open rows is you could use one of these fancy, uh-oh, I just dropped some, fancy dancy little things. I don't like them. They're not big enough. So I just use my turntable. Put a little bit of and one of my prep boards that I use. So I cut a bunch of these round. So what we're going to do is we need to make, yes, flour now. I don't like those things. They're never big enough for me. I need to find a bigger one. So put a little parchment paper. You can cut little squares. And what we're going to do is we're going to make the center rows first. And then we need, this is Swiss Meringue Buttercream. My video tutorial on how I make it is on YouTube. So I have a bigger rose petal tip. What number is this? 127 here. Okay, so I'm starting in the center here, and I just want to start a very tight, and I'm leaving the fat end of my tip down, and I just want to start a very tight curl in, okay, like that. And then I'm going to leave that on for a little bit and drag around, applying steady pressure. So you can really do this any kind of way you want to do it, whatever is comfortable for you, however you like. Okay, that's just the center. So you can do like a normal sort of rose here, or you can continue the spin all the way like a ribbon rose. I'm gonna go for, because I'm not very good at piping flowers yet. I need to practice, but I'm just gonna go for what I think is a good buttercream rose. So I just put 3 petals there. So I just put 3 petals here. So now I'm going to go back and try to do, what, 5 next? So now we have, do we like it? So now I'm just going to keep going around. I want to fill up as much of this as I can. So we'll go back and do 7. That was 3. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so you see it's really pretty. So you can keep going. Maybe I think I'll do 9 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That one looks pretty. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in my freezer. And isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Okay. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some individual, you don't need a ton, but you need, a good amount, maybe 12 or so or more, however many you want to make. So leaving the fat end down, I am making individual petals like this. And then I'm going to go in and just make a little one like so. Do you see that? So I have enough room, so I'll make a couple more on here. These are just so that we can sort of fill in spots where maybe our tip can't get in. This is a tip 127, and I don't know the maker. Maybe a Tico. So you just keep making, and those need to go in the freezer too. But I'm gonna make a few more. Okay, do we see that? So leaving the fat end of your tip down and sort of curling out. I love this tip too because you see how it kind of breaks the petal at the end. It makes it look a little more realistic. Okay, so making, and I'm using, you see I'm moving my turntable to help me. Okay, so you just make a bunch of those, like so. And then these go in the freezer too. So here is my cake. Okay, now what I've done here is stacked. This is a 7, a 6, and a 5. And I did the 6 smaller. This is where I'm going to start my rows, is on this 6. And the reason why I did this way is because when you go, say, 7 and then you jump to a 5, or 8 and you jump to a 6, there's too much of a ledge right there. So, and since we're not using gum paste or fondant or whatever, it's just I didn't want too much buttercream because then it could sort of fall or whatever. So I like to keep it light. Actually, and put some gloves on. Because when you're dealing with the buttercream, your hands are really warm. So this just, it just helps a little bit. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna start the outer petals while my other one chills up a bit, which is probably the best way to do it anyway. Okay, so using your fat end towards the cake, you think, okay, how far do I want it to go down? So I want to do this sort of motion. So I'm going to start my outer petals about right here. And I'm using my turntable to help move me in versus trying to do too much of this. So just going around, making 3 petals there. Okay? Sorry, I might cover you a little bit. So I'm just going around like this. Remember, keep the fat in. Now, the way you hold your piping bag will be whether they go flat or they stand up a little bit. So you can see that one is kind of standing up. I'm sorry it's white, guys. It's just what it is. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I think you'll get the idea. So you can also sneak in another one. You have a paper towel here to clean my... And the great thing about this is that, you know, there's really no... I wouldn't say there's really not a rhyme or reason for this. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going around. I feel like I have to come over here. Okay, yeah, this is good. So I'm just sneaking in a petal where I'm gonna do this side and then go back over. And then so you just wanna layer, keep layering. Going around. And I'm just getting in there. Now, you can go back. Excuse me while I don't talk. I can add more if I want. Filling in some more. And you just keep layering. You guys see that? Do you like that? So, here, we can start the other way. Let me see. Gotta keep adjusting yourself. The best way to go about it. So now I'm going up the second tier there. Okay? Give myself a start there. Now you can go back in here and sort of blend these sort of seams together. I'm always wiping. Okay, so back to this side. And so I'm starting from the outside and working my way in. Do we like it? Do we see it happening? Do we see it coming to life? Okay, so now I'm going to stop there. Well, I might go in a little bit more. Finish this. That way when I put the rose, it has somewhere to sit. I keep having to go around my phone, sorry. Okay, so now I want to go up. You see, there's no one comfortable spot. You just kind of have to keep going around your cake and adjusting your approach. I keep getting, okay, fat end. So starting from the outside, I'm going to make another one there. And going in. And I'm going perpendicular, so you can see there's a lot of spacing right there, so I'm going to go back. So you can go back and sort of fill in wherever you think you need a petal. Okay, so now I'm going to keep going. So I can start, where do I want to start? Up top. Making sure the fat end is on the cake. And just going out. And keep building. And remember, however you hold your tip will be whether it comes off the cake or these are more flat. So now I want these to sort of stand up a little bit more. So turning my tip and I don't really think if you can really go wrong with this cake, guys. I don't think you can, if you have a general idea of how to pipe using the rose tip, then okay, I think I have to fill this part in. I might have to get fresh buttercream. Yep. It's dying on me. I'll just move that down. This is the one that I was using earlier. It's just a smaller tip, so I'll go with this one towards the center. Now I'm going to put the the center in here. So now adding a little fresh. So now it's definitely more, it's colder, so that's good. So I can handle it. And place it. So we're just filling in. I'm running out of buttercream. So I don't want to see, you see how the side there, we don't want to see that. So when you add more, get in there. So now you're just going in and the little, these that we made, you just peel them off, and while the buttercream is fresh, you can add where you want a little more height, a little more definition. So I have lots. See, I'm going to put it up here. So these are key, guys. Doing these little pieces, this just helps you fill in and give some more life to the flower that your tip and fresh buttercream can't seem to accomplish for you. So do you see how adding the these are really helpful? So really, you can make a ton of these, guys, and just using the fresh buttercream, cushion them. Uh-oh. I don't have any more. I can make more and freeze them if I feel like I need to add more. There it is, guys. I could go back and add more petals if I needed to. But I think that's a really pretty buttercream option for the open rose for your clients who don't like the fondant. And how fast was that? Huh? That's a lot faster than doing it in fondant or gum paste. And it's pretty. And it was easy.